Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. You know, this is the image of an old fable known as the tortoise and the hare. See, in the story, the hare, which is usually or a rabbit, which is known to be a quick animal, is in a race with the turtle, and turtles are known to be slow, right? So the turtle believes because the rabbit is, the turtle, Salaki, the rabbit believes, or the hare believes, because the rabbit is slow, that the win is guaranteed. It's in the bag. So he takes it. He doesn't take it seriously. He's lackadaisical with it, and as you see in the picture here, he's resting while the turtle, maintains that steady pace all throughout the race, and the turtle ends up winning. And because the rabbit, just because there's been times where the rabbit would pass the turtle in the race or the tortoise, but as he gets so far ahead, he decides to rest, to take it easy. All right, a lot of people in the world really got to look at our position in society. Now, this isn't a knock to anybody with that might have funds or shekels or in a higher position in society, because as long as you put the Lord first, it doesn't matter, right? Because the Lord, he dealt with people with money in the scriptures, man. So it's really not about how much you have; it's about your heart, man. It's about because the Lord looks within, man. The Lord tries the reins of people, man. All right. But nonetheless, just because, you might be, or you might think that you're in first place, or you might think that you're winning, doesn't mean that you're going to win, man. All right. So, stop. Let me just get to the scriptures. Let me jump to Matthew 19. Matthew 19 and 30. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first, right? Many people exalt themselves. Really, exalting yourself is true because, like the scripture says, why are earth and ashes proud? And the scripture also says in the book of John, anything that a man gets, he receives from heaven. So really, you can't take pride in anything that you do or anything that you have, or because man's goings are of the Lord anyway. So it's of the Lord that you have it in the first place, right? But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first, and that's exactly what happened to the rabbit or the tortoise. Slaka, or the hare. It was first, or it believed it was first, and it got prideful, man. And pride goes before destruction, right? That's a lot of things, man. People will take their status or their positions in life or their wealth, it'll end up consuming them. And what ends up consuming them is their pride, because I think the scripture says pride is when one begins to depart from the Lord, man. Hold on one second. It's Lakia. Let me jump over to the book of Sirach, chapter 10. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High and his heart is turned away from his Maker, right? And then once that happens, once your heart turns away from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you're out of there, man. All right? Because then you start to believe that you could do things under your own will, under your own power, man. But it's not yours. It's never yours, man. All right? And this is why, a lot of people in the world are don't want to give up they don't want to change, man. Because they believe that being the tortoise is going to be a loss. But really, the tortoise ends up winning at the end, man. And through the Spirit, the tortoise is the elect, man. Lord won't put in that number because, we're going to end up winning at the end, man. All right? No matter who seems to be ahead of us, you know, Because this is why, really, Esau Edom labeled us as racist too, man. Because a race is something you join or you participate in, hoping to win something, man. Right? And the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American race are in last place in society, man. But the so-called white man, also known as Edomites in the Bible, they're in first place because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. They are the wicked. So it seems like they're ahead, but they're gonna because of their position is ultimately gonna end up destroying them. That's why that scripture talks about in the book of Obadiah. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, right? The pride of the hare's heart has deceived it. All right, let me back or Slakia jump to the book of First Corinthians chapter 9. First Corinthians 9:24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. Right? You know, only one. There's only one winner in the race, and ultimately that winner will be the elect of Yasharallah, man, the elect of Israel. Because even in the kingdom, if you're dealing with everlasting shame, that's technically an L, man. Even though you'll still have everlasting life, you'll still have a spiritual body, right? You still will never get sick, never go hungry. You still have all these things, but you will have everlasting shame and contempt. So in a way, that's technically an L, because every time you get around a member of the elect, man, you're gonna feel shame and contempt, because you're gonna hear about the truth, while you're in the flesh in your life, man, right? You're gonna hear that you're an Israelite. You're gonna hear about the truth. You're gonna hear that Yahweh Shai was a black man, a so-called black man. You're gonna hear that his name is in Jesus, man, right? You're gonna hear these things, but you're gonna stick to it because you feel like you're winning and you're in first place, man. You're gonna stick to the lies you've been taught, all right? But it's ultimately gonna end up for your own destruction at the end of the day. Verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, right? We're in a race too, but we're in a race for an incorruptible crown. We want the crown that Yahweh Shai in that crowning ceremony is going to give us, man. Lord willing, we're part of that number. And that's a mighty thing. That's a mighty thing to a vision. A deity putting crowns on our heads. Lord willing, we're part of that number, man. Right? An almighty deity, man, putting crowns on our heads. That's, man, that's an incorruptible crown too, man. Right? Because everything, people will get crowns or praise and accolades on this side from men, but what good is that, man? What good is that? In 10,000 years, nobody's going to consider a LeBron James, a Biggie Smalls. Nobody's going to consider a Jay-Z. Nobody's going to consider that. Even now, was in 1996 where the rapper Biggie Smalls died? People barely talk about him now. It's only been 20 years. So imagine 1,000 years from now, in the kingdom. Nobody's going to mention these people. These people aren't going to be something to be revered. Nobody's going to talk about LeBron James' stats in the kingdom, man. So everything they have is a corruptible crown. But, 1,000 years from now, the things that the members of the elect do are going to be talked about because they're going to be written about, man. All right? Verse 26, I therefore run, Salakia, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, right? Because, the Lord is not unrighteous to forget our works and labor of love, if you paraphrasing, man. Because, everything we do, everything we do in righteousness, Salakia, there's going to be a reward for it, man. All right? Going back to Matthew 19, it talks about that, man. All right? But we're running to receive an incorruptible crown from Yahweh Yahweh Shai, not from men. We don't care about the accolades of men. Just really, men can't give us anything, man. At the end of the day, sure, we appreciate, any gifts or help that we receive from men, but ultimately, that's ultimately from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because Scripture talks about in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, how he maketh even our enemies to be at peace with us if we do the things that please the Lord, man. All right. And the Lord is not dealing with the people that are, the Lord is really dealing with the meek and lowly, not people that are high in society and things like that. Because it's an easy thing for the Lord, to convert a LeBron James, a Stephen Curry to the truth and have him, ministering his name. And then, millions of people will flock to that because of who they are. The Lord doesn't want it like that, man. The Lord likes to fight where it seems like he's at a disadvantage, but he never is. And it's a beautiful thing, man. Up to the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 138 and verse 6. Though the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai be high, yet he hath respect unto the lowly, but the proud he knoweth afar off. Right. The Lord ain't dealing with the proud, man. He has respect unto the lowly, man. Right? Because that's how he carries himself. Yahushua came riding on a donkey, man. He doesn't. He could have came riding with a caravan of stallions, man. Because that's the Lord, man. The Lord could have been, one of the, when you think about it, he could have been one of the richest people in the world. I'm talking about Yahushua, because how health is greater than wealth. If he was out there healing people, he could have charged them and made a boatload of money, man. Because people will pay anything to be healthy, especially if they had it, right? But what did he tell his disciples, man? Freely have you received, so freely give, man. So Yahushua wasn't on that, let me lift myself up, man. Let me exalt myself, because even Yahushua knew that he was just a servant of Yahweh, man. He was doing the will of his Father, right? Let me jump to the book of Mark, chapter 9. Mark 9 and 35. And he sat down and called the 12, and saith unto them, If any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all and servant of all. Right? Because there's a saying in the world how absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is why you see these celebrities sell out. You see 10 times out of 10, because they don't have a foundation to build upon, right? So when you see celebrities that you think, might be down, so-called down, or real, they end up folding at the end of the day, because they desire to be first. They desire to be seen. They desire to be seen of men, not knowing the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. And he witnesses all, man. So these people are willing to do anything to be in the spotlight, to do anything, man, including sacrifice family members, including doing sodomy, including doing rituals, witchcraft, thinking that since they do it in the shadows, that they're gonna be okay, man. You know, the Lord sees all, man, and the Lord puts them in their place at the end of the day. It seems like they're winning, man. So like Christopher talks about envy not the. Let me just get it real quick. The book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Right. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. Right. Just because it seems like they're winning, you don't know what they did to get their consolation prize at the end of the day, their corruptible crown. That's what that consolation prize is. Oh, this is what you want? A moment of fame, a moment of glory from men? If you're part of the elect, you're going to receive an everlasting kingdom with everlasting glory. All right? From men and Yahweh, and the angels, man. Lord willing, we're part of that number, man. That's something you cannot put a price on. All right? Well, the scripture talks about, so what if a man gained the whole world, but he sells his own soul, roughly paraphrasing, man. Is it worth it at the end of the day? You got robbed. You sold your soul, metaphorically, you know, for what 10 years of fame at that. Because very rarely do people stay famous or in the spotlight or even rich for more than 10 years, man. That's really about the limit, man. You think about 10 years ago, who was on top of the world? They're not on top of the world now, you know. Excluding like and that includes athletes, celebrities, people that just her their name just gets spread around and across abroad. You know, let me jump to as a spirit because this is gonna be 9:11 too. The book of Ecclesiastes, Lakia chapter 9 verse 11. Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, right? The race is not to the swift. Just because you're the fastest, just because you're in first place, doesn't mean you're gonna win, right? And that's a beautiful point to bring out, for the tortoise and the hare, man. The race is not to the swift. Just because you're the fastest doesn't mean you're gonna win. Because you could be the fastest man in the world racing the slowest man in the world. During the race, you could sprain your ankle, you could trip, and the slowest man ends up beating you, man. Shit, the Lord could take your spirit in the middle of the race, all right? Blood clot, because you took the jab because you wanted to stay in first place. You starting to see these athletes drop, in the middle of practice, man. All right. Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. Right. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. Right? Because you don't know what tomorrow holds. Shit, you don't know what the next 10 seconds holds, man. The Lord could do anything within a second, man, in an instant, man. All right. So you think that you're out here winning the so-called life, man, taking it easy, relaxing, because your pride has got you. But if you maintained that steady speed and just ended the race, you would have won. But no, just like the tortoise maintained the speed, you know, was humble and lowly. While this is an act of pride right here when you see the hare just napping and shit. You take a nap in the middle of the race, man, you out of there, man. No matter who you racing, man. But I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great Muslim that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I want to say Shalom and Abad Babal.